Stakeholder engagement has an important role to play in research. First of all, as part of general ethics and morals, we need to make sure that we engage the stakeholders about what we do, that they understand, but also have a way to guide the research. And secondly, of course, there's the whole part around acceptance. So we need to make sure that the research that we carry out can be acceptable to people. And for that, we need to make sure we hear their expectations, their potential concerns, as this can guide the type of studies that we do to respond to these concerns and expectations. I think one of the key challenges for stakeholder engagement, in particular for projects like us working in Africa on malaria, is the fact that this debate tends to happen at the global level. And that means in a lot of the Western media, in the US, North America, or even Europe. And we need to make sure that the countries that could benefit or be affected by this technology can have a voice in this debate.
The challenge for researchers and funders today is to be cognizant of the historical harms that have arisen from insufficient or inappropriate stakeholder engagement in the past, and to address those historical harms with care, compassion, and an eye to what's best for the communities that they're trying to serve.
Well, certainly the past experience has showed that stakeholders have the capacity to stop research from being delivered, and for those of us working on gene drive research, we're absolutely interested in the outcomes and the control outcomes. And so the last thing we want is to be spending years of time working on research projects that end up not being delivered because of either regulatory barriers or public acceptance barriers. So we've taken the approach with most gene drive researchers, taking the approach that we should be engaging with the public upfront, early on, and with regulators and other stakeholders early on to make sure that they understand the nature of the research that we're doing, and to determine under what circumstances they would be prepared to have that research delivered for the outcomes that we're trying to achieve. And that way we can get have a greater likelihood that the research that we work on and put a lot of investment into will eventually be delivered.
So you need to make sure that people are informed enough and understands the technology and what's at stake to have an informed discussion, but at the same time that it doesn't get too complex for people, so that they don't shy away from the discussion and that you can reach the most affected. So in projects like us working in Africa, you need to make sure people understand the gene editing and what's proposed, and at the same time that you do it in a way that's inclusive enough and meaningful so people can take part of the discussion.